Hi guys, so my name is Renee. If this is your first time on my channel, I just want to say welcome to my channel. So I do daily vlogs, I do military content, I do cook with me's, grocery hauls, organization, all the things that make me who I am. And I have just kind of been wrestling with this idea of sharing with you more, sharing who I am and how I became her, you know, as the shirt says, how I became her. If you look at me on the outside, you're gonna see a woman who I'm in the military. I've been in the military for 6 years. You know, I could say, you know, I'm making my way up the ranks. I'm a sergeant. I'm working my way to E6. Like I'm getting there, right? Also, I'm married. I'm married. I've been married for a couple years. Just had a beautiful baby girl. So all of that content is on this channel for you guys. But what else? What else happened to get me here? What was the struggle? What was the journey like? How did I become who I am? So what you guys might not know is that I was a teenage mom. I talked about it years ago when I first started my channel, when I was younger, and definitely had this fire about me to just like pick every woman up who was at this point in her journey and helping her get to where I was at least. So as a teenage mom, I had my son a couple months before I graduated from high school. What you guys also might not know is that I have 3 children by 3 different men, 3 different last names. So you can say that I lived a little bit. Your girl lived a little bit, just a little bit, you know. I also, I'm not going to say, I don't like to use the term that I lost my father, but my father spent the majority of, well, all of my teenage years and all of my 20s in prison. And that's something I definitely have not ever talked about on my channel, but it really has shaped the woman that I am today. It did have some influence on who I am. So I thought, instead of just sharing my story with you guys, because my story is just me. You know, on my channel, I can only share what's real and relevant to me in my day-to-day. But I have over 10, I want to say over 15 other amazing women who have walked different paths, come from different lifestyles, different backgrounds, different areas, and all have made it in their own right. And by making it, I mean are successful. Whatever success looks like to them, they are that, and happy and in a place where they are willing and able to share their story. So this series is going to be called Becoming Her, okay? Becoming her. This is what this is all about. Her is you, that person who you aspire to be, that mark that you as a woman want to be. And yes, I understand that I do have males on my channel. You can just flip it, make it Becoming Him. I will, you know, eventually have that series out. But right now, I have to show representation of who I am. And in that, it is Becoming Her. So it's been quite a journey, but she is worth it. So I'm going to go ahead and get into my story and share a little bit more about myself and how I got here in this place with you guys. I just want to say, please, it's probably going to be pretty long, so go ahead and get you some tea. I got this amazing teacup from Just Chanel. Isn't he so cute? He's adorable. So grab you some tea, grab you a snack, girl, because I don't look like what I've been through, okay? Ain't that a thing? That's a thing. I definitely don't, so let's go ahead and get into this. So I have some prompts. My computer's downstairs. Let me go get that because everyone has the same prompt. So let me go grab that really quick and then I'll go ahead and get into my story. All right, so who are you? I'm Renee. I'm just Renee. So I blog a little bit. I've been trying to do this blog for years and years and years, and the blog has kind of turned into YouTube, right? It's easier for me to communicate with you guys this way because no one reads anymore. Now there's audiobook and all types of different things. So at the end of my blog, I would always say, I'm just an ordinary girl. Like if you're an OG, if you came from the blog, but I'm just an ordinary girl. And that was my mantra. I'm just an ordinary girl. That was kind of how I related to the people that I was trying to reach. That I'm an ordinary girl, but in reality, there's nothing ordinary about me, and there's nothing ordinary about you. So, who am I? I am Octavia, Renee, and Andre, and Dylan. I'm their mom, you know? And I am Octavius, I'm his wife. And I'm a sergeant in the military. Like, that's like mind blowing sometimes. That, damn, like I seen a meme that was like, do you ever look down and be like I'm really in the military? Like this is really a thing? Like, this really happened? Yes, because this was not the path that I saw myself on, ever, ever, you know? I could go buy a house if I wanted to, and my husband would love for me to do that, but I said no. I like coming home. I like living 2 minutes from work. You know, we have cars and we have savings, and I'm doing budgeting, and I'm paying off all my debt, and I'm, you know, doing stock market type stuff. Like, I could say I made it, but the biggest thing about me, about how I feel like I made it, is because I have more happy days than I have sad days. That I am truly at peace with who I am, and not only who I am, but who I associate myself with. I know that the people that I call friends and family have my back regardless. I don't have to worry about anyone kind of like doing me dirty, because the people who have true character that I have surrounded myself with. I am comfortable in this life, and I'm also seeking more. I'm in school, you know, trying to figure out ways to help my kids and help them and give to them and provide more beyond 18 for them. So I success for me is being happy. If anyone ever asked me what she wanted out of this world, it was to be happy. And Renee is happy, and that's who I am. So, who were you? Y'all. It depends on where you met me. She was a hot mess. She was a hot mess. I used to make rash decisions. I used to just be all over the place. I wasn't stable. I mean, I'm not going to say I was unstable in a way where I couldn't provide for my children, but I was unstable in a way where I was just always trying to get to the next level of something, but it was a circle, round and round, because I wasn't making good decisions. I wasn't thinking long term. I wasn't doing what was necessary to get me to the next level of life, of peace, of happiness. I continued to allow people in my life who were bad for me and who did wrong by me. And to understand that, let's start from the beginning. So I am the middle child, but I don't have middle child syndrome because I'm the only girl. So I have all brothers. My parents married very young. They were high school sweethearts. They had all their kids together, you know, and marriage is hard. I get it. Like, as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, I get it, because I'd rather knock my husband out. Knock him all the way out. So I fully understand that marriage is hard, and I would never, ever, 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 you know, talk bad about a relationship that wasn't mine. So they were together. They had their kids together. That's one thing. My brothers look like me because we all have the same parents. You know, that's one thing my kids can't say. Well, I was a child, whatever. My parents weren't together, and my dad ended up having to go sit down for a while. So in my head, I was 14. I don't know if that is exact. I know it was in that area. I was a newly teenager. And he did not get home until I was in my 30s. So that is a huge gap not to have that physical relationship with that person. Now, my dad and I, we talked all the time. You know, I went to see him. You know, there was a relationship, you know, a strong relationship during that time. And it just wasn't textbook. You know, I wasn't able to see him. He wasn't able to, well, at 14, he's not, you know, tucking in the bed at night anyway, but, you know, all the things. It was more of a verbal communication than anything. So that did affect me. Now, my mom, so I told you guys that, you know, they were teenage lovers and relationship, whatever it's called. And, you know, after my dad left, after that relationship ended, then she had to find herself, you know, and I get it. And I always, anything I talk about my mom, I always say, I appreciate, because when I was 21 and I was a mom and I was working every day and I had bills and the car payment, my mom would get my son every single weekend so I could go out and have fun and do all the things that you needed to do in your 20s. So in my 30s, I didn't have to find myself while my son was trying to find himself. So I truly do appreciate that, and I fully understand. But for my life, in my teenage years, my mom was trying to find herself. So I was just able to do whatever I wanted to do. And in me being a teenager, I was trying to also find myself. I mean, you know, we don't talk about things in my generation that we should have. So I ended up pregnant, and man, I love my baby. He's 16 years old. He took the photos that you guys will see in this blog, well, in this video. He's amazing. He's super smart. But as I tell him, you know, being a teenage parent definitely makes your journey more winding than it has to be. So I became a teenage mom. I am from Maryland. I moved from Maryland to North Carolina at the age of 18 or 19 after I graduated from high school. So I tried to work. I worked at Walmart. I tried to go to school. I was going to Morgan State University. But your girl couldn't do it all. Now, my mom did offer to have my son, keep my son for those 4 years that I went to Morgan State, got my degree. I really didn't want to be a doctor, but I decided no, being a parent for me was more important than my education, so I opted to work. So I went to work. I moved to North Carolina. And I stayed. My family was there for maybe like 6 months, and it just wasn't their jazz. So they moved back, and I stayed. So I ended up, fast forward a little bit of time, right? I end up in another relationship. I have another son. That relationship does not last. Okay, so now I am a mother, a single mother with 2 children, and I'm like, man. I do not know how I'm going to do this. So when I was with him, said person, I was in school. I was going for nursing. I continued to keep trying to go to school. When that relationship did not work, I had to drop out of school, go to work full time. I had to move out of our home and find a place to stay. So I remember calling my mom, like, I need somewhere to go, time down, like, stat, like, I cannot stay here. I need to find somewhere to go. And we ended up getting me a 1-bedroom apartment. And because I wasn't working, I had to take whatever job. I took a job at a daycare, making $8 an hour. $8 an hour. And I don't like kids. Like, I have them, but if you know me, you know I'm not the auntie to call to babysit. Like, I will. But my face the whole time gonna be like, sit down, sit down. No, don't mess with that. Sit. Kids sit and be quiet. They don't, but that's me, right? I'm not the bring them over, drop them off anytime. Nah, I'm not her. So I have 2 kids by 2 different dads. I'm living in a 1-bedroom apartment with them. I'm working at a daycare overnight to like midnight. My kids are there because they're daycare, but it's $8 an hour, and I'm working till midnight watching other people's kids. So I slept on a futon in the front room. I allowed the kids to have the bedroom, tried to make it sort of a room for them. And I slept on a futon, the hardest futon of my life. When I look back to those pictures, it brings tears to my eyes because I know how sad and unhappy she was. she, at that point, there was no happiness in that. None. And it wasn't that she was alone. It was that she hadn't found her way. That she could not catch a break. That she was definitely having more bad days than good days. So that's not when I joined the Army. Someone told me the Army saved me. I'm like, girl, bye, whatever. So I actually ended up going and getting a job, applying. I remember taking a picture, posting on Instagram. I applied for this job and I knew I was going to get it. I got it. So I became a store manager. Good stuff, right? Good stuff. I started getting my life together, getting things back on track. We actually moved to the beach. We moved to Wilmington. It was beautiful. I loved it there. But it was very hard for me because my hours, retail hours, are hard, are very difficult. Retail hours are crazy. I was working until 8 o'clock at night. I have 2 little kids, you know. My kids were not older then. So I have 2 little kids. What am I going to do? I ended up putting them in a 24-hour daycare. And then I moved back to be closer to my family and hopefully get some more assistance. So when I came back, I did end up getting laid off from that job because the market where I moved wasn't as good as the beach. Go figure. So that's when I ended up joining the military. So I joined the military. I did all the things. I was a single parent. I do not talk about how I got into the military. Just know I did unconventional things to get into the military. And though I can advise you to do what I did, it was the best decision for me to join, and I made it happen. Shut that book. So, but that's not the end of the story, guys. I joined the military, and I continued to allow the wrong people in my life. So I ended up dating this dude, right? Said dude. I dated him for 2 years. Two years. I dated him for 2 years. And he was at a point where he was trying to change his lifestyle and start over. So, now mind you, we lived far away. He lived about an hour and a half away from me, so I didn't see him all the time, blah, 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 blah. When he decided, hey, I'm trying to start over, trying to get my money right, trying to get a different type of job, whatever, I said, hey, you can come and you can stay with us, right? You can stay with us. I'll help you get on your feet. It's fine. We're together. Let's do this thing. Well, this said man, right? He came into my home with me and my 2 children. So I'm in the military, right? And he was not the person that he had portrayed to be for 2 years. 2 years. He was very angry. I mean, I get transition, but he was very angry. And yeah, verbally abusive. So one day, he was talking to me, and if you know me, you know I really don't like little itty bitty guys. Like anybody I date, they like football build, like they got a little weight on them. I think it's like the little strategy that maybe my kids will have a little weight on them, but I don't know. That's just my type. So we were talking, and I was sitting on the couch, kind of like how I am now, right? And he was standing, he was talking, and we were probably arguing because that's all that we seem to do. And all I remember is him punching me in my face. Just like the awkward smile. Because my family asked me about that, and I said, oh, it's nothing. We were playing, and he elbowed me by accident. No, I'm here to share. He punched me in my face. I still have a mark right here under my eye. This man's hands was my hand is like as big as my eye. His hand was was like 3 times my hand. And I couldn't believe it, because in a previous relationship I had been choked in the car with my kids. And here I was again being physically abused. So I didn't leave. I did not leave out of the relationship at that point. I stayed a little while longer because he had never put his hands on me again, right? He's never gonna do it again, right? That's what we tell ourselves. But the verbal abuse got so bad, and the anger and the look in his eye that he would do it again. I was sleeping in the bedroom with my children with the door locked in my home. This is my shit. I pay these bills. All of them. He didn't help me at all. I was trying to be there for him. I was trying to look out, right? We're supposed to be ride or die. That's what we're supposed to do, right? But I almost died trying to be ride or die. Trying to hold someone down that didn't deserve it. So I told him, get the F out my house one day. Just like that. That's what made me snap. One day, I looked in the mirror and I saw her. And I saw who she was supposed to become. And she couldn't die in that house. And she couldn't allow her children to think that that's what a man does. She could not allow her sons to hear any more arguing. Now, there's healthy arguing. Me and my husband, we go at it. We beef. But there's healthy arguing. And then there's downright disrespectful, I don't care about you, I will spit on your grave arguing. Oh, so no one's going to want me. I got 2 children by 2 different men. Who's going to want me? Who's going to love me? Who's going to take you in the way that you are? You are damaged. You are nothing. I said, that's fine. But she's going to be happy. So you got to get the F out. Yeah, I think that's where it ends, right? So he says, okay, tomorrow I'm going to come with my homeboy and I'm going to grab my stuff. So he comes the next day with his homeboy in a U-Haul or something and he grabs his stuff. Now, mind you, I'm outside because I have to, I can't go in. I'm not trying to be in an altercation with this dude. He way bigger than me. I don't have no one here. I'm in the military. I'm in the island by myself. I have no family here. I'm standing outside letting him get his stuff. He's screaming. This dude destroyed everything I owned. He threw my clothes out the window. Out the window. He broke the kids' fish tank. My son, he says, we did have fish tank one time, didn't we? I said, we're not going to talk about it, though. He broke the fish tank. Y'all, how many Sephora hauls is on this page? I have loved makeup since I joined the military. He poured bleach into all of my makeup. He opened the palettes and poured bleach into all of my makeup. But the catch, right? The catch, he slashed all 4 of my tires. My brother said, what do you do to make somebody, a man, I ain't never seen a man slash tires, but he slashed all 4. He said, you ain't going nowhere. And I stood there and I took it and I didn't cry because I was relieved. Because anything that is tangible can be replaced. Anything I can put my hands on can be replaced. Did that mess me up? Absolutely. Absolutely. I had to get a new car. I didn't just get new tires. I just went and got a new car, right? I got a new car. I had to replace all the stuff in my house. And I still owe that rental company. Why your girl still working on her credit? Because I still owe that rental company. Yes. So, even though it was done to me, I was relieved because I was done. I've never seen him again. I've never seen him again. I think I've seen him once. No. My mama seen him once, and I was like, okay, whatever, right? Now my husband, anything I tell you guys in this video, I have already talked to my husband about. I have explained my life to him before we even got married. He needed to know what he was like dealing with, and he still chose me. But he emailed me one day, and I told my husband, I said, this dude in my email, like, what the what? And he like, give me his email. Give it to me. And I said, no. I said, I'm just going to delete it. I'm not even worried about it. You know, he said, hey, friend. And I said, no, friend is not. You mean, hey, person I punched in my face? Hey, person I spat on? Hey, person I destroyed everything she owned? Delete the email, please. Delete. So that's what bent me, guys. It wasn't my parents trying to find themselves, because I had a good life, guys, growing up. It wasn't cookie cutter, you know. There was, you know, little frayed edges, but they made me. They made me who I am. They made me the person I am today. And people may shake their head at me because I am an unwavering ass woman. But, you know, I'm all about the good and see the good in people. And I truly hope that people see the good in me and feel like I'm a good person. So they make me who I am. You know, and the decisions that I made based on how I started becoming a mother so early is what made me get into this pinwheel of this cycle of never, ever, 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 ever getting on top. Never get in a better situation. Continuing to allow people into my life that just were not good for me. You know? And after my younger son's dad, after that relationship ended, I took like 2 years for myself. And I forgave people, and I forgave myself, and I worked on who I was and the footprint that I put in this world, the person that I wanted to be, that I wanted to portray. And that's kind of when my up and up started. And I feel like that relationship that was abusive, it came to test me, to see if I would go back to the things, the person I used to be. And I didn't. Instead, I allowed him to get his anger out. And I said, this is not who I want to be with. This is not the person that I know that God has for me. And I just walked away from it, clear as day, and just walked away from it. And from that moment, I have continued to progress as a person, as a leader, as a mother. And even, you know, when it came to my husband, I didn't date for a while after that. You know, I went, actually, age 30 was me just out there doing the most. I ain't gonna lie, I was just out there doing the absolute most. But it was me just letting that last little bit of steam out, because God knew that my husband was coming. Well, when I met my husband, I just wasn't interested. He was like, yo, it took you forever to, you know, hit me back. And I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you was you. So it took me forever. But once I met him, once I sat in front of this man, I knew that that was my husband. I knew. We got married very quickly. And we will be celebrating our 3-year anniversary this year in a couple months. So I knew, and he knew, we were together from that moment that we met, and things have been different. And I bore my soul to this man. I said, look, let me tell you about young Renee. Let me tell you all the things that she did, because she was a hot mess, right? She was, but she got good heart. And I know that the woman that I became was because of that. So he accepted me for who I am. He knocked down all of the walls that were put up because I was told, right? No one was going to want me. No one was going to love me. No one was going to choose me because of who I was and decisions I've made. And I mean, it's not true. It's not true. And the love that I poured into myself is reflected on this man. He gives me that same love, but I had to love me first. I had to choose me. I had to go after the things that I wanted. I had to go to school and become what I wanted and instill all that love into myself, because before I was giving it to everyone else. Everyone, I was like, hey, come here with all the potential. I see that little speck of potential that you got, that little dust. Let me let it blossom. And it never did. And then honestly, have you guys seen the movie Good Luck Chuck? Because I said I was Good Luck Chuck. Literally every single person that I really cared about, they would leave me and they would go get married. And I was like, damn, your girl ain't never gonna get married. She's gonna be Good Luck Chuck. But I wasn't. At the end, he ended up having the girl and I got the guy. But it's not about him, because I was at a point where I was happy. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just have grandbabies one day. I have experienced love. I have loved others, and I'm okay with that. But the moment I became okay with my situation and who I was and developed myself into this unwavering, like, you guys don't understand, unwavering woman who really tries to see the good in others and build up people and help the sister and brother to the left and the right, and just honestly just an overall good person. Like, you just got to be an overall good person. And once I really started getting on my grind, saving my money, doing all the things that I needed to do to be successful in my own right, people started pouring into my life left and right, who possess the same qualities. When I look at my friends, it's a reflection of who I am. Why? Because I glowed up. And so I am going to attract those who are like me. My friends are out here getting it. I mean, getting promoted, buying houses, and relationships that are healthy. You know, they're out here doing all the things to be successful, to be happy. And we just want to share that with you guys. You know, it might not be a cookie cutter journey. And I'm sorry, I can't sit here and make it seem like my life was so bad, because a lot of the decisions that got me in trouble, I did to myself. You know, I did them to myself. You know, just being hasty. But in the end, I got here and I found my true happiness in myself and who I am and the woman that I am. And I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of my journey. I'm proud of who I am today. 33 years old. She old. So if I had to give any advice to my younger self, or someone who's just really trying to get through an abusive relationship, being a single mom, or just stagnant in their life, just in a circle, paying Peter, stealing from Peter to pay Paul, you know, not getting ahead, round and round and round, doing the same thing, I would have to say, you need to be honest with yourself, sis. You got to be honest with yourself, with who you are, with what you're putting out in the atmosphere, and really take the time to get to know me, get to know who you are, what you like, without anyone else's influence. What is Renee all about? What are you all about? Because once you figure out what you are all about and what you really like and what really caters to you as a woman, then you can start reflecting on who and what is around you. There was a point in my life when I wanted to be part of the crowd. I wanted to have friends that we go out with, and I did. And all that was removed out of my life, because that's not me. That's not who I am. I am about a couple of select people who truly love the character of who I am and who I truly love. And that's it. I don't need a crowd. I don't need a crowd. So you got to look at who is around you, who is sowing into yourself, and honestly, who you are sowing into. If you are sowing into anyone, I'm not talking about our children, because I'll pour all I can into my little seeds. But if you are sowing into anyone else, mom, dad, brother, cousin, boyfriend, husband, baby daddy, I don't care, anybody, more than you're sowing into yourself, then that's a problem. Because this is where it starts. This is home. You can give a leaf, you can give a stem, but you can't give all that you have to anyone other than your children. Okay? So my advice would be to self-reflect and really get to know yourself. If you're in a bad situation, get out. It's okay to start over. Man, I started over like 4 or 5 times. I was like, I am done starting over. I am not starting over again. And that's why that last time it was on my terms. I was not starting over. I wasn't moving out. I wasn't the one packing my stuff because that was in my name. Now, it's different when you marry. You know, this is ours. All of this is ours. But I'm saying you need to get to a point where you have your own house, your own car. And it can be an apartment, whatever, a place that your name is on a lease. You know, your own house, your own car, your own everything. You know how life is for you. You only have to worry about yourself. And if you got little people, that's fine. I had a little person since I was 17 years old. My entire story reflects me being a mother and doing what I need to do to take care of at least one child, okay? And it just grew exponentially. So self-reflect, get rid of the dead weights. Get rid of it. It's okay. I don't care who it is. There are so many people who I should be talking to in my life who I am not talking to right now. And I'm okay with that. In time, everything, all wounds will heal, you know, and the people who are meant to be in my life will. But right now, breaks are happening, you know, and I'm okay with that because that's what's necessary for peace, for your peace, you know, because I'm a reflection of who's around me, and if stuff is kind of, then I walk away, you know. So what other prompts do I have? Okay, so my final thoughts, guys. Please, if you stayed this long, because this is a pretty long video, you need to go ahead and like, you need to go ahead and subscribe to this channel, right? Stay tuned for the next one. I don't know who's next. I'm waiting for my people to send me their videos, but I wanted to be first. I wanted to introduce this series, but this is all about becoming a better you, about getting to a place where you want to be in life. This is all about who you want to become, and is she worth the journey? Is she worth being uncomfortable? Is she worth you walking away from some things that give you pleasure, that make you happy, but not give you true peace and happiness? You know, is she worth the growing pains? It is a journey to become a strong, solid woman. And are you down for that journey, or are you just okay being okay? Okay, I'm making it. I'm making it. Okay, and that's fine. You know, we all have our place, but either way, guys, please stay tuned because I have so many phenomenal women, like amazing, beautiful, smart, like good jobs. Like I'm at the low end of the totem pole when it comes to this series. Like, I'm like, okay, I know y'all for real. Okay. So please, guys, you have to subscribe so you do not miss. I ain't gonna tell y'all to cut on them notifications because I don't got a notification on for nobody, okay? But definitely subscribe or check me out. Every now and then I will sprinkle you guys with the next Becoming Her. It's been quite a journey, y'all. It's quite a journey, but she's worth it. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next vlog, grocery haul. Y'all know I do all of that, but definitely I will definitely see you guys in the next Becoming Her. Bye.